Hi everyone, it's Hiedi Scott with DiyDreaming, and on today's Facebook Live, I'm super excited to show you these, what am I calling them? Faith Stenciled Hymnal Art. I'll never be able to say that again. If you have a suggestion of what I should call these that aptly describes them and is easier to say, I would love it if you would put that in the comments. Anyways, so today I'm going to show you how to make these step by step, and I'm going to tell you where everything came from. I'm also thinking about selling these, and each one would be a unique creation because every page from the hymnal book that LaDonna sent me is different. But anyways, so as you're jumping on, say hi, let me know you're watching. Tell me where you're watching from, and if you have any questions, let me know that too. And I think we'll just jump right in. Okay, so this, can you guys see the full thing? This is the first one that I made, and I painted the back of it too. And then this is the second one that I made. All right, so I want to tell you how I made them. First thing I did is I went to Hobby Lobby. I had a very hard time finding any kind of boards that would go with this size of hymnal music that looks like this, you guys. So Hobby Lobby does have some boards in their wood section that are 7 inches by 9 inches. And they're just a couple of dollars, but they're pretty rough. And a lot of them have big knots. So if you decide to use those, you're going to have to bring them home and give them some tender love and care with some sandpaper and really smooth them out before you even start on the process, okay? Then the second thing I did is I used my favorite colored paint from a maker studio. This is Rescue Restore paint, and it's in my favorite color called Biscuits and Gravy. I put 2 coats of biscuits and gravy, not even really being all that careful that I had great coverage, okay? And then when that was dry, I took the sandpaper again and I went around the corners just to take a little bit of the paint off. This one I did much lighter, and this one I sanded more heavy, okay, if that makes sense. Then after I sanded it, you know, in the corners and around the edges, then I took my favorite stain, which is called Hazel Mahogany Gel Stain, and a paper towel, and I just dipped my paper towel in this stuff and rubbed it on the areas that I had sanded off. And then with a wet paper towel, I sort of cleaned up, okay? Because it will change the color of your paint. It does darken the wood where you've sanded it off, but it will make your paint look a little cloudier. So as soon as I got it on, then I took a wet paper towel and I cleaned it off the areas that I wanted the biscuits and gravy to still show. Okay, so then I waited for all of that to dry. This is, it's just kind of it's an easy project. It just has a lot of steps and a lot of waiting for things to dry in between. So I think any one of you guys out there, if you're crafty at all, or if you like crafts at all, and if you can get your hands on some hymnal pages, you could make this project. I just want you to know that there's a lot of steps. And I'm going off track. I am probably going to start making and selling these. So if you think you would be interested, let me know. I'm thinking about doing $20, and that will include shipping. Anyways, and the boards are 7 by 9, real nice, okay? Because I've taken care of them. Okay, so back onto this. Okay, so then after my boards were dry, let's set this right here. Then I got my X-Acto knife out, and I just cut out some pages from my hymnal that had titles that I liked. Like this one says, "All the Way My Savior Leads." I mean, there's so many beautiful songs. "Beneath the Crown of Jesus." So I just took my X-Acto knife and I cut some pages out. And I didn't trim them super neat because I wanted it to look that way, okay? Then, using my favorite stuff, which one of my followers corrected me last week, because my whole entire life, you guys, I have been saying the name of this stuff wrong. It's not Mod Podge, it's Mod Podge. There's no GE on the first word, see? Funny that I never noticed that. I mean, I was a criminal trial lawyer, so I was pretty observant in my good old days to details. But for some reason, I grew up saying Mod Podge, and I just never gave it a second thought. Okay, so I used Mod Podge in matte. And what I did is I used a foam brush, and I basically just put a thin coat of Mod Podge covering the whole top of this board. It will dry clear, so you can't really see where I've got some Mod Podge around the edges, okay? And then I laid my my piece of hymnal on top of it, figured out how to get it roughly centered, and then I just pushed it down into the Mod Podge, okay? And to do that step, you need to make sure that your hands are not, don't have any Mod Podge on them, okay? To be able to smooth out any bubbles. And it's okay if there are a few little bubbles. If you looked at mine close, you would see in a few areas some little ripples. And that's because this is a handmade item. If it was made by a machine, it would be perfect, but it wasn't. It was made by me, so it wasn't perfect. Okay, so I put my hymnal music on, pushed it into the Mod Podge, and then using a foam brush, I put a whole coat covering the top of it. And it wasn't really thick or really thin or anything. It was just a medium amount. And then I let it dry. And that's it. That is all there is to this project. Like I said, it's not difficult. It's just a little time intensive. Most of the crafts that I do are quicker than this because I have a very short attention span. But I love this, you guys. I love the idea of having old hymnals, and I love the idea of putting a Bible verse on it. I love my biscuits and gravy paint. So for me, it's the perfect combination of things. If there were buttons involved and maybe some ribbon or jute, it would be even better. And heck, you know, you could actually add something like that to this project if you wanted. But, okay, so I want to show you a couple of basic things you're going to need if you're going to try this project yourself. The first thing you're going to need is this stencil, okay? And it's part of a stencil set. There's like 6 other quotes or Christian sayings in the same stencil set. And I put a link to this stencil set in the little description of this video, okay? So you're gonna need that. And this one says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart," Proverbs 3:5, okay? This is what that stencil looks like. Mine's starting to look a little cruddy because I've used it so much, because I love this one so much. But you guys, these are reusable. These stencils come from a maker studio. They're mesh stencils. So you get a lot of nice detail. They're sticky so they don't scoot around and you're not gonna get stuff smeared underneath them. And this is just one of many in this same set. But you can use them 25, 30, 35 times, or possibly even more if you just take care of them. And all I do to take care of mine is I just wash them. I just lay them in my sink and turn the sprayer on some cool water and wash it off, and then I lay it upside down on my counter with the sticky side up. You guys, once before, last Easter, I had this awesome stencil and I just wasn't paying attention, and I washed it and I laid it down sticky side down to the counter. And guess what? I had to scrape that sucker up, excuse my language, and I completely ruined the stencil. So always when you're leaving it to dry, put the sticky side up. Okay, so that's that lesson. But if you love this stencil, I want to show you a couple other things that I did. If you love this project, you're going to need black gel art ink, which they call it Can't Never Could, or some silly name like that, but it's black. I put a link in the comments to that too. And then you're going to need this stencil. Okay, and with these two things, I'm going to show you a couple other projects that I made. You guys probably remember these cute little bags that I made. This one's been riding in my purse with lipstick, chapstick, Kleenex, flossers, you know, hand lotion, that kind of thing. Anyways, I made this using that stencil and that black gel art ink. And then I made this. I don't know if you remember, this was a Goodwill frame that I purchased for 99 cents, I think. And all I did with this is I laid that stencil on the glass and I used that gel ink on the top of the glass. And then it had some goofy picture in it, but behind that was cardboard. So we just took that goofy picture out and let the cardboard come, the brown color come, you know, to the forefront. And look at how beautiful that is. So honestly, I think the Maker Studio stencils, especially these new Bible verse ones, are amazing. So you definitely should check that out. So that is basically how you make this craft. You could set it in a little easel, like I have back here. Can you see my cross that I made? Hot glue and gilding. You could set it in some kind of little easel, or you could get one of those little wall hangers and just put it on the back. And this would be a sweet gift for a friend or just for no reason at all. So if you have any questions, let me know. If you like this project, or you like using Mod Podge and this kind of thing, this sort of faith art that's pretty simple, feel free to sprinkle this video to your social media. I love it when people do that. That helps me get the word out, and it helps me with the crazy Facebook analytics that I don't really understand. Or tell a friend about it. Go to the links in the little blurb that describes this video if you want to see all the other Bible verse stencils or the other colors of gel art ink that they have, or you want to look at my favorite biscuits and gravy paint or anything else. And I am working on nests, and holy cow, I can't wait to show you because I've got some really great ones going, but they are so dang messy. So if you think you're going to want to do nests with me, what you're going to need to do is go out in your yard and grab some twigs, all different sizes from different kinds of trees or branches, and bring those in the house. And later this afternoon, I'll show you how you can use those as a base for a nest. And it's really awesome. Anyways, thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day. And I will see you hopefully later today with the nests. Thanks.